but just kind of showing you a little bit of what's like going on. And that's not the article I want first. So as you can see, there's a lot of talk about the possibly including women in the draft, and I think they're moving that way. And I'm I'm not against it. I used to be against it, but I'm not against it now, only because a lot of people, nearly 30% of Gen Z adults, identify as LGBTQ. National survey finds. So, unfortunately, this day and age, you have a lot of women who identify as like male or something along those lines, whereas 40 years ago, you didn't have that happening, and they don't really want, I think women today don't really want that traditional role. You can see that, like, the percentage of, like, baby boomers was like 4%, Gen Xers 7, millennials 16, Gen Z adult nearly 30%. So as the men become more effeminate, you're gonna see that the women kind of have to step up and fight, because the men are they're kind of effeminate. I know a young man who, 17, and he is smaller than most women, and they just don't have any bulk to them. There's some young men. This doesn't apply to everybody. I'm not making a blanket statement, but I'm just saying the world has changed. You can see that nearly 30% of Gen Z. I don't know what the percentage is of, like, after that, but we kind of don't have enough rugged, what I would call strapping young bucks to register. They just don't have enough. Another thing I think is, like this. Sorry, this was like Denmark was. This was back. This is a few years ago. Well, actually, no. This one was. They've been talking about it in the U.S. for a while, years. But Denmark announces compulsory military service for women too. This was March 14th, 2024. There's other countries, I believe, that are following suit or are going to follow suit. And it's kind of women kind of brought it on themselves, wanting equal rights and stuff. And like I said, women have just changed. They're not the way they used to be back when I was young. Back when I was young, I used to love to get dressed up, and I'd do my hair, do my makeup, I'd wear my heels with my super cute little, mini skirts and, whatever. But I like to dress, I love to dress like a girl. And because I am a girl, I was born a girl, and that's just that. I love being a girl, and women today don't love being girls. So, I argue that they kind of deserve to be able to serve, right along with registering. That would have scared the living daylights out of me. But then again, I'm a girl, and I like being a girl. I'm proud of the fact that I'm a girl, natural born girl, and love it. So, yeah, I think that it's coming. So this was back in 21 that the U.S. House Armed Services Committee voted. This was back in 2021, September 7th, to expand registration for the Selective Service, commonly known as the draft, to include women, a move that brings a requirement one step closer to becoming law. So they never went all the way through with this, but now this is like making a comeback. Well, see, this has been in the works for a while. So this isn't like brand new. And there is no draft right now. Right now. Those are the key words, right now. So, yeah, there's no draft right now, but as soon as I think we've already seen this article. So as soon as they put the next false flag, they'll have to do a draft. Um, and will that include women? Depends on, it's going to pass. You just know it is. So they will be making women go, and like I said, kind of rightfully so. Women are not women like they used to be. Some women are more butch than men. They just have more bulk to them, so they might be better fighters. They might do better in the war. They might have a better chance of surviving than some of the young men who really act like women. So, sorry to offend people, but I'm sure it's going to offend somebody. But the truth is the truth, right? Call a spade a spade. But I just, there's no draft yet. But once they need war because the economy is in the toilet. It just is. Inflation is almost at like hyperinflation, I think. Just the way they've taken it down, like dominoes falling. You have talked about this before. The big companies they were buying up houses 2-3 years ago, driving up the prices. Now the prices are so inflated, and a normal person with, even $100,000 a year job, unless you've got a really nice down payment of maybe 90 or 100,000, a house of $400,000 is going to be a stretch for you if you have any other kind of bills. Like if you happen to have student loans or a high car payment, those are all going to work against you. It's just very, very difficult right now, unless you have two good wage earners with a nice down payment, good credit, not a lot of bills, to be able to buy something right now. So it we have to, in order to keep our economy running, it like runs on war. I don't purport to understand everything about that. I'm not an economist. So, but I do know that, like, I've heard so many people talking about how war funds the system. And like I said, I don't understand that 100%, but I believe it to be true from what I've seen. So the war, the United States I feel like it's been in like a perpetual war since like 1990, when, I mean, we went to war, and then even before that, like, you know, um, but we needed something like 1990. They did the war, officially put us in the war, whatever. And then 2001, we had the false flag, and that was huge. And then that caused another war. And then we're ready for another false flag at this point. And that not only do they do that for a lot of different reasons, to like maybe cull the population, because we're considered useless eaters to them. We mean nothing to them. Actually, no one means anything to any of the elite except themselves. And there's only a select few of them. We're talking, I don't know. I don't know if it even includes 50 people, honestly, in the whole entire world that are considered really, truly the elite. It's only probably a few families. But there will be a false flag, and they'll use it to take away more of our freedoms. You've got the real ID coming into place in places, coming in, like, it's going to be due when it wasn't previously due. And I heard from someone who knows that that was all put into place because of 9/11, the false flag back then, where they're just now getting to that. So the next step, so now what they've got people doing is people are like stealing people's identities, and nothing's safe anymore on the internet. All these breaches from all these companies. Well, that's when they're going to bring in the biometric. That's when they're going to bring in the biometric that they're going to want to put inside of a human being, because then they're going to be like, oh, then it won't be hackable. If it's inside your body, it will not be hackable. And then, yes, it actually will be hackable. And if you decide to take that, you will be hacked. Is that the mark of the beast? I don't know. I'm not putting anything in my body, I can tell you that. But they are going to want to do that, and they're going to do it in the name of protection and your privacy. And oh, this is to protect you. This is what we found the way to work to help you. But it's not. It is, in fact, not going to help you. So I'm not taking it. I can't tell you what to do. I don't recommend it. There's nothing good. Nothing they do is good. Nothing that they do is good. I'd be leery what you eat, what you drink, what you put into your body. Just try to look around out there. I can't think of I'm gonna look it up. The name of this YouTube channel that I think has some really good stuff on it. And I am looking and scrolling right now. Sorry, I should have had this already up. Oh, it's Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. So they have some interesting stuff. I recommend you check out that channel. It's on YouTube, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. You guys may already be subscribers, but he's put out a video in the last week where there was something in Pepsi. Some things that assembled themselves in Pepsi. Reminds me of what was in the cough cough. So I would just be leery, and some people, say, oh, be mindful of where you are and this, that, and the other. Watch for this, false flag. It's coming. Yes, there is going to be a false flag. When, we don't know. Where, we don't know. But I don't worry about things like that at all. I live my life because I know that I'm saved by Jesus Christ, and I know that He will take care of me. So I encourage you to, if you are a saved Christian, I encourage you to rest in the assurance of Jesus that He will take care of you. You're not going to die until it's your time to die, and He never puts anything more on anyone than they can bear. So if you're not saved, that's very troublesome because we're all going to die at one point or another. And we don't know when, we don't know how. So if you're not saved, I recommend you do get saved by Jesus, because then you can lay your head on the pillow at night and know that the Savior has angels guarding you and that you're okay. You're going to be okay. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to drag this out. But they are going to do a false flag when I want to say maybe this fall. And maybe that will be the catalyst that they'll delay the election, or, maybe something will happen to the current president, and then that will be the catalyst. That'll be the false flag. I don't know. And then they would have to put somebody in, I don't know. I don't purport to know how all the politics works and stuff like that, but nothing would surprise me that these people would try. We have no representation in government. I know some people like certain, like Rand Paul. I hear that name a lot, that people like him, conservatives. I just know that the central bank digital currency thing is going through, and the selective service will get passed, that women will be in the draft when there is one. And I just don't see him speaking out about it. And maybe I'm just not seeing it, but I don't hear about it either. It's not like he's very outspoken. I'm voting against this. I'm disappointed with all of them because I don't feel like we have any representation in our government. And I think that's a huge problem for the American people, because a lot of people are sinking further and further into debt, and people are very unhappy in their lives, and people are trying to take their lives and stuff. And it's a shame because our government could do better to try to help people. And them putting like soy in foods and feeding it to young men, that when it produces like an estrogen effect, is not good. And they've been doing that for decades. So it's no wonder with the stuff that they allow in the American people's diets that people are messed up. I'm not blaming the young people. I'm really not. you look in other countries and look at their products. When I buy their products, they don't have, like, if I buy a product, say it's a cookie, even like a strawberry cookie that I recently bought, there's like 7 ingredients in that cookie, which should be the normal amount of ingredients in a cookie like that. If you buy that product over here, it's going to have 20 ingredients in it. You have all these preservatives. You know, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I'm going to throw this out there for people that, like, I've heard that Skittles, the color, the food dyes that they use on this stuff is causing children to be hyper and causing like hyperactivity. Now, I will say everyone complains about their children, especially their young boys. I'm talking 3, 4, 5, 6. They're rowdy. Boys are supposed to be rowdy, people. See, they're like pinned up now, and people expect them to just watch TV. No, boys should be outside playing, and I'm using the word should because I believe all children should be outside playing, getting that energy out. If I had a dog once, and I realized that she tore something up, and thank God she didn't get hurt. I didn't care what she tore up as long as she was okay. But I realized that my puppy was not getting enough exercise. I took her to the dog park. I made her a priority. I took her to the dog park 3 or 4 times a week, 3 or 4 hours a week. I let her run until she told me she wanted to go home. And I had the best dog ever. She was as sweet and just nice and friendly and had lots of friends and lots of play dates. And I think that's what children today are missing. I don't think parents are making them a priority and getting them out and letting them run and play with other people their own age. I think a lot more people are keeping them home. They're keeping them sequestered, like in amongst their own family members, and that's going to cause discord. A child is not going to be happy in that situation because children need friends. They need outside sources of friends. They don't want to be friends with just their siblings. That's not a good thing. There's a lot wrong with society, but if I were a parent in today's age, I would have my child having play dates with friends. I would make sure my child had plenty of friends. I had tons of friends when I was young, lots of friends. I was always at a friend's house, always out running around. And I was happy when I was out with my friends. And I just think children should be allowed to be children. This is back in the day when you didn't have to wear a helmet. If I rode a bike today, I still wouldn't wear a helmet. I survived. I rode a bike without a helmet and I survived. I just think that takes the fun out of it for this heavy helmet on a child. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Children, let them fall and get scraped up a little bit. It's not going to hurt them. I, you know, I don't know. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But I just wanted to say that I do think there's going to be a false flag. And it may happen before the election because they got to do something because the shield that they have in there now, I don't think that's going to work. And I don't think people are going to buy the fact that people voted this person in. So even if they try to pull what I believe they did before, I don't think that's going to go with people because I think enough people now have enough brain cells that they wouldn't vote for someone who has none. I think pretty much everybody that's not in a nursing home has more brain cells than the shell that's in there now. So that's just my opinion. This is all my opinion, but I welcome your feedback, your comments. Let me know what you think, because I'm not always right. I'm wrong a lot, but we all have opinions, and I don't know. Let me know what you think about the draft and women. So, yeah. But you guys have a great night. It's always a pleasure. So, if you like the content, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you like it, you hate it. Hopefully, you can hear me. I'm trying to talk louder because I tend to have a soft voice. I feel like I'm screaming into this computer. But so, yeah, just take good care of yourselves. And this heat is really oppressive. And so make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you keep your animals hydrated. Take care of yourselves as best you can. And I pray for all of you because I know that some people are having a tough time financially. So, like I said, you're all in my prayers. So, you guys take care, and I will talk to you soon. And remember, there are no coincidences. This is Gracie Investigates, over and out. Thank you. Good night, everyone.